When you're up presenting, you need to own the room. What that means is it's your stage, right? Whether, again, it's one-on-one, you're up on stage and whatnot. You control the pace and the setting and whatnot. Even if they've told you what the rules are, that's fine. You know their rules. Now play within their rules and own the room. This is really important when you have an interactive session with a small number of investors or small number of potential customers. Your pitch is going to wind up being very interactive. If it's not interactive, it's not working. What I mean by interactive is you'll be interrupted. You'll have questions asked in the middle of your pitch. That's a good sign. You want that. But you control whether you answer it or not, right? You may say, I'm going to answer that in a few slides. Let's put that off for now. You may say, that's an awesome question. We'll get to it at the end. Or you may answer it right then and there. You control that room. This goes all the way to the Q&A. So you get to decide how long your answers are to the Q&A, right? What I highly suggest is be brief. They ask you a question, you give them a 1 or 2 or 3 sentence answer. You look them in the eye. If it looks like they want more, you give them a little bit more. If not, you move on, next question. You don't ask them, did I answer your question or not? Well, of course you answered it. You just did, right? If they have a follow-up question, they can ask it themselves, right? You control this, and this goes all the way to the very end. Again, one of the big mistakes I've seen over and over again is the presenters simply walking off the stage when the presentation is over without saying a word, sometimes muttering thank you. Right? This happens most of all in the business plan competitions, in the angel groups where they're telling you when it's time to get off. Usually there's a clock visible. Right? Simple trick. So if you're in the midst of Q&A and they've given you, let's say, 8 minutes of Q&A and there's a clock clicking down and it says 30 seconds, well then rather than saying time for one more question, it's really time for you to close down the show. It's time for you to go to your next step slide. It's time for you to go to your closing slide. It's time for you to take control of the room and say, thank you for having me here. Here's my contact information. Here are the next steps. Thank you once more, and then walk off the room. Taking that step, just closing down the show, is really subtle. Most people won't even notice the difference, but in their subconscious, they will now put you one step higher. You are a little bit more professional than all those other people that just simply disappeared off the stage. You're a little bit more memorable, and that's really all you need, right? You want to be remembered and talked about by the audience.